I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're talking to Joe O'Brien. He is the imaginative author behind a delightful book. It's called Paula. This enchanting story follows a little stuffed panda on an adventure to discover her purpose and destiny. Join us as we explore the magical world of Paula and let your imagination soar. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support an author like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Joe, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great having you on the show. Loved your book. Such an imaginative story. How'd you ever come up with the idea to write a tale about a stuffed panda with both emotions and feelings?
You know, it's kind of hard to even go back and remember where all this came from. One of the many things I've done in life, I was a substitute teacher for a while, and I was in a grade school library, and they had a lot of children's books there. And I was looking at some of them, and for people that know me, this is totally against type that I would do something like this. Uh, it just started out as an idea that I had no idea where it was going to end up.
Hmm.
And it took 2 or 3 years, really, to get it finished. I would start on it and work a little bit and then put it down, eventually pick it back up again. And little by little, the story kind of just came into my mind.
Hmm.
The if you look at the back of the book, it's got a little bit about my background. I grew up in a home with both sets of grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I had no brothers and sisters. My mom and dad had no brothers and sisters, so I didn't have any aunts or uncles or cousins. Our neighborhood was an older neighborhood here in Springfield, and there were no kids to play with. And I had this stuffed animal. It was a cat, and I hadn't thought about it for a long, long time. And the idea just hit me. Gee, I wonder if I could write a children's book. But I didn't want to do something that seemed like it had been done several times before. And so the idea just, it developed over, like I say, quite a bit of time, really.
Wonderful. Well, it kind of harkens back to your childhood because you did have that stuffed cat that you mentioned that was your pal. So it's kind of cool how all of the things, all of the elements in our lives come together sometimes in the creative process. Give the folks at home an overview of what the story is about.
Okay, the story is about a stuffed animal, happens to be a little panda, and it starts with her being sewed together and completed in the factory, and at the idea being that she really has no idea what she is. When I got thinking about if a stuffed animal could have ideas, emotions, what would they be? And one of the things that hit me in the beginning was, gee, they would have no idea what they are, what their purpose in life is, what their goals might be, that they were starting brand new. And how would they eventually develop an idea of what they are, their personality, and what they wanted to do, what makes them happy, what makes them sad.
Mhm.
And it follows her through production, through transportation, and the whole time, basically, little by little, she's learning a little bit because she's in boxes with others kind of like herself. But she really doesn't find out too much about her purpose until she reaches her destination and is put out for sale.
It's
So
a
she's
beautiful
looking for a home,
story.
basically looking, she finds out she's looking for a home for Christmas.
Mm, yeah. It's a great story. Like I said, it feels like a classic right off the bat, although it's extremely original and unique. Um, who is your intended audience for the book?
The intended audience, I thought, was going to be children from the first when you can read to them and they can understand,
Hmm.
say 3 to 4 years old, up to when they don't believe in Santa Claus anymore,
Mm.
maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. But the interesting thing that has happened, I know a few people who have purchased the book, and a couple of them have told me, well, I was going to read this 2, 3 chapters at a time, maybe over 2 or 3 nights to my child, put him to sleep. And the first night after I read a few chapters and put him to sleep, I was interested in the story and I wanted to sit down and I finished the book.
Well,
So, my intended audience was, like I say, children, but there may be an actual audience out there that I didn't even know about or even think about.
yeah, I think everybody likes a good Christmas story. I think it brings out the child in all of us, the wonder, the awe, the magic, the spirit of the Christmas season. So I think it does cut across all age limits and boundaries because we all want to have that feeling of that special toy at Christmas time again. Those were the best Christmases in our lives, right, Joe?
Oh, very, very definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, that special something under the tree you didn't think Santa or even your parents would get for you, and it shows up. It's a great feeling. Have you envisioned this as a movie?
You know, I this is all brand new to me.
Yeah,
uh, the whole thing of publication uh, and even getting the book out there, getting it known. Uh, no, I have to be very honest. Uh, I had never thought of it in those terms.
well, hopefully somebody out there reads his book and loves it, and hopefully that somebody who reads the book and loves it is a filmmaker because I think it'd be a terrific movie. I think children of all ages, once again, would love it because it's a beautiful tale that's very unique, but feels like a classic for sure. Is this your first book? Are you working on any others? Tell us a little bit about your writing career.
No, this is definitely a first effort.
Yeah.
Um, I had not really thought about uh, a sequel or anything like that.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll see how this one goes, and maybe if it does well,
Yeah.
uh, maybe I will try to come up with a little bit of a continued story. If you read the very last chapter, it sort of leaves it open that could there be something else in this little bear's life, or is this going to be the end goal?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. There could be a whole lot more to the story. Um, Tell us a little bit about the front cover of the book. It's a beautiful cover, kind of captures the essence of the book.
The artwork was basically the way that worked. Uh, I was given the opportunity to do a certain amount of illustrations. I not talented in the area of artwork at all, and so I basically described a scene to an illustrator with the publisher, and that illustrator came up with the illustrations based on what I described.
Great. Well, it's a perfect blend of imagery and text because the pictures are perfect to support your story and they really enhance it, which I think is the goal of any author and any illustrator. So the collaboration was a great one. The name of the
I
book
was very,
is,
very happy with it. It came out, I think, as well as I could, even better than I expected.
yeah, yeah, you should be very happy with it. It's like I said, it really reinforces the story and helps make it come to life. The name of this wonderful book is Paula. It's an enchanting story that follows a little stuffed panda on an adventure to discover her purpose and her destiny, her sense of self, and a sense of belonging. It is a great story that you will love, your children will love, and a story that'll bring out the child within you. Joe, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight.